Smile for the camera.
So, last time you all sorts of crazy stuff happened, but ultimately you ended up talking to Fia and the prince about what exactly has been going on and why did the prince escape to this camp. Um, and the prince revealed that he was not kidnapped, that he came to the Children's Rebellion camp because he had almost sort of seen his mother sacrificing people in the catacombs under the castle. But right before she was going to stab someone, he made a little noise and she turned her head and he ran away. And so the prince wants proof that the queen is really doing this stuff. And if she's doing it, he wants to replace her with himself. And so there was a bit of a discussion and about what the group would do next. You all were witnessing Fia and the prince disagreeing with each other, and the prince wanted to pretend that you all had rescued him from kidnapping, make you his bodyguards so that you all could intrigue with him at the castle and try to get proof that the queen is evil. Um, but Fia really wanted to just straight up assault the castle, perhaps figure out how to sneak into it the way the assassins had snuck into it. And then also there was the added twist of, should we visit Lady Peel Killshaw, who lost the War of Succession 6 years ago and has been building an army ever since in the western part of Parvus, the pacifistic country of Tabaxi and halflings. Um, there was a discussion about getting that force and taking the castle with that army plus the Children's Rebellion. And the group was to some extent leaning towards the intrigue vibe, but there wasn't a full consensus. And so I would say, just to give us a new template to start from, that everybody said, let's sleep on it and discuss in the morning. And you were all brought back to the former prison tent, which was now had a nice comfy carpet laid out and some bed rolls on it so that people could sleep. And Crash probably slept at the place that she was usually sleeping, and Kaz probably slept in the place that he was sleeping previously. But Drios maybe was lumped in with the other fools who had been prisoners, and Horseman, etc., and Arthas, who's still an NPC and not hasn't had a heart attack yet. And I would say everybody gets some sleep. So whatever you need to recharge from a long rest, go ahead and recharge that.
I should do a bunch of stuff because I'm a wizard.
Yeah, if you're changing your spell
Shadow
prep,
Wizard Money Gang.
if you're changing the spells that you have prepared, if you're changing any of your artificer infusions, um, now is the time to tell me. But you'll be engaging in a long rest and waking up in the morning where the discussion of what the next step should be will soon resume. So yeah, I guess give any final thought to what spells you want to have prepared. Let me know anything that you're changing.
I still only have 2 infusions.
Crash. So you don't prepare mage armor?
Huh? Oh, I'm going to. I'm gonna switch that out real quick. I'm just figuring out what to switch out. Ugh. Okay, yeah. I'll not prepare. What's happening? Oh yeah. I won't prepare Shatter today, I guess, and do Mage Armor instead.
You know, I've got something for you that might affect. I see on your list that you had prepared alarm. You,
Uh-huh.
as a wizard, you don't need to prepare alarm in order to cast it. It's a ritual. So
Do I need to prepare it to cast it as an action?
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Well, I guess I'll.
I thought it
Sure.
still needs to be prepared, but you can cast it as a ritual to not expend a spell slot.
You cast it as a ritual to not expend a spell slot, but the casting time for alarm is 1 minute. So if you cast it with your action, it'll take 1 minute to cast. If you cast it as a ritual, it'll take 10 minutes to cast. But I would suggest not preparing rituals.
Yeah, I moved some stuff around if you want to look at it. Also, I think I accidentally put False Life in my spells, which I'm pretty sure it's a cantrip.
False
Um,
Life is a first level.
Oh, it is? Okay, never mind.
if I'll tell you what, if you put it in the private chat or either the Discord or the Zoom, I'll put a little I'll make a little list of who's got what prepared. I'm looking at Zach's right now.
I guess I can take off Disguise Magic and identify that from my list of prepared spells. It's just taking up space.
Yeah, except no, because you're an artificer, not a wizard.
Oh, really?
Still ritual spell.
Yeah, but you have to have the spell prepared to cast it as a ritual.
Oh, weird.
You would have
Okay.
to take it might only work with the ritual caster feat
Oh,
for a non wizard. I believe bards can cast ritual spells, but again, bards don't prepare spells. Anybody who prepares spells from a pre-existing list, like a druid or a cleric or a artificer, if you're casting a ritual spell, you have to have it prepared. It won't take a spell slot if you cast it as a ritual, but you have to prepare it in order to cast it as a ritual.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Oh, life. One of the things I like about D&D is that you can never know all the rules.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I
Or
like the cool combos you can do.
I can never know all the rules. All right, so we got I got Kaz's spells, and I'm gonna check my Discord messages. And you've updated which ones are in there, so I'm just gonna put that in the same place as the other stuff. And videos, did you have a list? Is it the same as what's already there, or are you changing anything?
I think it's the same, but I can send you an updated PDF if that's what you're wanting.
If it's the same as what's on your sheet, then we all good. Let's see. Yeah, you don't have the dots filled in on your sheet as to which ones are prepared. So if you feel like it during the opening part, just send me which ones you have prepared, like in the chat or something would be best.
Okay.
All right. So you all start to wake up at the different parts of the camp where you are sleeping. It's 6 a.m. and the morning sun is filtering through and making the air less gray in front of you all. And Drios, you were in with Horseman, but as you wake up, you find a horse standing outside of the tent with glowing purple eyes, and
Mhm.
the horse kind of nods at you.
Ah, yes. You're back to your normal form, huh? I pat it on the nose.
And
Okay.
Arthas Arthas rolls around on the ground and grumbles in his sleep and says, no, no, don't pour that on me. Oh. And he wakes up and says, oh, I haven't died yet. What a surprise.
Yes. What a surprise, old man. You having nightmares?
Yes. Uh, the water torture they applied to me in the bowels of a vessel years
You've been
back.
tortured? I
Yes,
did not know that.
they wanted my treasure map.
Ah, did they get it?
No, I had it hidden where no one would find it.
Mhm. Can I get a hint?
Oh, you can see it if you want. And he pulls out a treasure map and shows it.
Oh, you just have it on you.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. He's like,
Okay.
he's like, I've been carrying it for years. It's the reason I was here. And he points at it. And as you look at it, you traveled through this area. Um, you traveled through from the north to arrive at the camp. You notice that there is a city marked on the map just to the north of where you all are now. And that's the one that he had been talking about earlier. Like, there's a town to the north. And you know for a fact that there's no town there. And so there's like some dotted lines, and there's an X marks the spot on the map. But you definitely see that the map has some major flaws. And he says,
Have
"This is
I
treasure
have
lane."
have I heard of any like ruins in that area? Old ancient towns?
Uh, there are some interesting things in this region. Um, there is no city to the north of the Children's Rebellion camp. Um, there's a lot of unsettled land. As far as you know, there could have been a city somewhere like 600 years ago or more.
Mm,
Um, but there's really just enclaves of people that don't apply to one particular country in between
mm.
here
That is
in between Rocinante and Greater Elenia. There's unsettled land where various enclaves of people live outside of the jurisdiction of these nations, but
mhm.
there's no city to the north.
Okay, so this orange area is unsettled.
Yeah, all this sort of light brownish is unsettled area. Yeah. I mean,
Gotcha.
1,000 years ago, the whole continent was belonged to Toth, who had taken it from the elves, and you would know that as well.
Mhm.
But in the 1,000 years since the fall of his empire, these are the countries that remain.
You know, old man, that is very interesting. I myself have come to this nation in search of odd artifacts and ruins from this bygone era. I've traveled this area unsettled to the north quite often. Perhaps I shall join you one of these days to find this treasure. Of course, once we are out of our current predicament.
He waves his hands around energetically and says, I need to find this treasure. I need to find it. And as he does, he sort of accidentally cuts himself with his hook.
Oh, calm down there, artist. We'll find it eventually. Hopefully before that frozen heart stops beating, but we'll find it.
Then he casts false life on himself, and a bunch of ice crystals appear all over him.
As energetic as ever. You'll outlive us all, I'm sure.
So where'd you go? Where'd my Zoom people go? We're getting some Zoom faces here. I love it when I'm sharing my screen and then I forget I'm doing it, and then like show you guys all your character sheets. So 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 you two are having that conversation, and Kaz, you wake up in the place you've been sleeping in camp for the last few days. It would also be either a bedroll or a small pup tent, and you may feel drawn towards the place where the group was imprisoned last night, where you know a few of them are sleeping. What are you up to? What are you doing?
Well, Kaz would kind of wake up and first he would get something to eat, like some potatoes or something like that, especially with Tactic, like in TikTok making a bunch of potatoes the day before. You try and knock that out real quick, fill his belly, and then you would go over to the tent to discuss on where they kind of left off on the decision of what to do, because that's kind of been on his mind all night, is like just what to do with that. And also, like the horseman was saying, it's got a lot of lives at risk on both sides. So he's been kind of fixated on that. So we go to the tent.
So when you try to get some food, you run into Olmos at the cooking area, and he's like, "Oi, it's not food time yet. You can have a spare potato if you want to chew on it before breakfast." And he gives you like a half stewed morning tater.
Why, thank you, my good sir. I was quite famished. Good day. He would kind of nibble on the tip of it just to kind of test the waters of how edible it is. And he'd go slowly by slowly as he's walking over to the tent to see Durios and everyone else. Yo, what up, Daniel?
Daniel.
Hi, sorry for the lateness.
No worries.
TikTok. No problem. Good to see you. Crash, you're waking up in your soldierly area where you had...
Sure. I mean, Crash doesn't actually need to sleep. So I think they probably just like I could either I guess I would take watch or I would wait in the soldier sleeping area. I'm gonna head over to the prisoner tent either way, to the ex-prisoner tent.
So you head over there, and TikTok, where did you sleep after the big conversation with the Prince and Fia?
Um,
Did you sleep in the now converted prisoner tent with Basnik and Trios and Arthas, or did you find another little place?
He probably slept in the converted prisoner tent.
So when you start to wake up at 6 a.m. and the sunlight is filtering through, you notice that there's a gray horse with glowing purple eyes outside the tent, and Basnik is nowhere to be seen except for probably in this horse form. And you also see Arthas showing Drios his treasure map and pointing at it, and Arthas is saying, I'm gonna find this treasure and be a very rich man.
You know that there's a saying that no matter how much money you make in this life, you can't take it with you. You know that, Arthas.
And Arthas says, I'll enjoy it while I'm alive. And he waves his hook around again.
Okay. As long as I'm part of your will.
Oh, well, that remains to be seen. You are growing on me, though. You do remember thinking about the map and anything of interest that's around. You know that there's a swamp nearby called Salsipuedes that people don't really go into very often. And there's also some caves that are nearby. So the Musovers have copper mines nearby, and there's some mines, there's some caves near the mines. And you've also heard about a really interesting tower that's to the east of Elenia Toth that has no understandable entrance. So looking at how strange his map is, could be referencing any of that stuff, but also probably not. And as you three are and Bosnik is peeking his muzzle in through the front of the tent. So as you four are discussing this, Crash and Kaz walk up at about the same time and see each other approaching and see the other people inside the tent.
Oh, and I have a question for Eve. So I forgot, last week did Crash introduce herself, like her name, to Kaz? Because
Huh.
I know we did meet
We
when the whole,
talked. I
yeah,
was under a charm,
right.
so I don't really remember what I said to you.
Right, because I remember your description, but I just forgot if Crash introduced herself like by name to
uh,
Kaz.
I feel like let's say she didn't.
Okay,
I think she was distracted. Yeah.
cool. Okay, then as soon as Kaz kind of sees you, Crash coming up to the tent around the same time,
Hmm?
he would kind of like wave at you. Once you're close enough to talk, he would introduce himself. My apologies about yesterday. I was quite confuzzled. My name is Cazador. You can call me Kaz for short. Um, may I inquire of your name?
Right. Nice to meet you. My name's Crash. Yeah, yesterday was a lot. Uh,
Hmm.
you're new here, right? You're part of the Children's Rebellion. Rebellion. Right?
Yes, ma'am. Though I wouldn't say I'm a part of it, more like an observer, someone just observing it, seeing if I do or don't. So far, I'm kind of leaning into it though.
Well, good to have first steps. I can't say that I'm. Yeah, it's nice here. Um, yeah, good to meet you. I hope we can all come together on this. The information shared last night was a lot to process.
Indubitably. Hopefully, we can make some sort of sense out of all this mess.
Certainly, yeah.
He would open the tent flap and walk in.
walking behind.
So Arthas looks up from his treasure map and says, Bosnick told me everything that happened in that tent last night. That's quite a conundrum. Somebody ought to tell that young boy, the prince, what's what. What should we tell them when they come talking to us? What's the next thing to do? I mean, I know I'm getting the treasure, but what are you all gonna do?
I think I'm going to see this one out. At this moment, I am broke and without any connections in a foreign land. I joined this job so that perhaps I could get in the Queen's good graces, but maybe a prince's good graces shall work just as well. And besides, if this queen really is evil tyrant, as they say, uh, maybe I shall store up a little bit of good karma for myself.
Me as well. I wish to see this through as far as it will take us. I wish to do as much good as I can by the people. And if the prince is speaking truth, this seems like it could be quite the event to behold.
TikTok, what do you think?
Yeah, seems like a good idea to go with the prince, being that we're in the middle of an encampment with, a lot of people who are kind of on his side.
Right, y'all seem of one mind. All right. Some of my cards on the table. I only really exist for one reason. And that's to destroy people like the Queen. I how do I put this? She kind of like gestures to her key, her like rung of keys. This is something of a collection of every uh, the prized possessions of the couple dozen or so jailers that I've rid from this world. Um, I am here to help Miss Fia in this operation, but I'm not necessarily loyal to them. So I wouldn't take offense to all y'all leaving us and our kindness for the prince's deal, especially considering the prince and all us seem pretty engaged. But I want to ask, what do you all want to happen when this is done? Not for yourselves, but for all of us. Do you have a goal?
Well,
Not necessarily. The way things are shaping up, it seems like this country is soon to implode. And I intend to store up good favor and, if I can, do some good. If I can.
I would be lying if I said I was only doing all this for selflessness to help others. That's my number one goal, but I also wish to also get in the Queen's graces and have some resources to find someone or some people that I've been tracking for some time.
If we're gonna put the prince on the throne and the queen's gonna be gone, then there's probably like 5 good minutes where I could go through a treasure chest or two and get some money for my family. And I think that's good.
Right.
I'm sure you will have your opportunity.
Yes, and I'm sure there's many, many chests on the way to the castle as well.
Think they have like 2?
I think maybe 3, to be honest with you.
Can't even count that high.
I know.
Can you carry the chest back to your family? That'll be tough.
Well, I mean, I could call over my siblings.
Huh? How many siblings do you have?
More than 3.
Hmm,
Do you think
incredible.
Tactic will come and help you?
I don't
That
know
would
who
make
that
fun.
is.
The potato peeler.
You mean the other me?
Yes.
I don't know. I think maybe if like there's a bunch of mirrors, he'll be in a lot of places at once.
Oh. More hands are always welcome.
Basnick sticks his muzzle in through the front of the tent and goes, and at that moment, Thea and the prince walk up together. Anyone with a good insight roll might intuit that they stayed in the same tent the night before. And there's a little bit of tension between them. And they walk up to your group, and the prince says, I think this is the perfect situation. We have a group of people who were tasked with bringing me home, and or at least what became of the original group who were tasked with bringing me home. And my mother is waiting for me to be rescued from kidnapping. So this is the perfect opportunity for us to go together and research together, and hopefully you all can protect me while we do that. And Thea talks over him, and one might get the impression that they've been talking about this all night, or disagreeing about this. And she says, I still say the best idea is a frontal assault. We get Lady Peel Killshaw. And the prince says, Lady Peel Killshaw wants to be on the throne herself, not me. She'll take the throne from me. And you, Fia, you want to get rid of nobility and monarchy altogether. How do you think she'll feel about that? And I don't know what she said. I don't know, something. I'm gonna mute you for now until she goes in the other room. So yeah, so Fia says, that's fine and all, but military might would be good. Either that or we sneak into the front entrance. And the prince says, I really think that these people are our bargaining chip right here. Have you all decided where you want to fit into this?
Can I
Uh,
have? Yes.
yes, I believe we have come to a consensus that we shall aid you, my prince.
And the prince says, ah, yes, I can pretend that you're my bodyguards, and hopefully you can protect me if someone tries to attack me. And the prince looks at you, Crash, and says, you've been a bit silent, though. What do you think about all this?
I do not. I kind of turn physically away from the prince, sort of disrespectfully. I respect all of you. I respect that you all seem like people with your own lives and own ambitions that have been roped into this. I don't know what I cannot declare fealty or loyalty to you, fine prince. Nor can I necessarily declare absolute loyalty to this Miss Thea Charles, but I will help these people because it feels like they have been thrust into something quite large and something that I maybe haven't dealt with on this scale before, but what feels like important work. So I'll help, but just not you. I'll help these people.
The prince thinks for a minute. He says, okay. And Fia pipes up and says, I've got an idea. Crash, why don't you represent my interests among these people? And the prince says, Fia, last night, I'm sure you remember my saying, if I gain the throne, I will begin talks with you about eliminating dueling. And perhaps we can discuss changes to the nobility, but there could be an alliance here where my coming to power could be useful for you. Perhaps a new House Charles. And Fia sort of looks away at this because she heard this the night before and she's been thinking about this perhaps. And she looks back and she says, you're my best bargaining chip, Finn. Once you disappear, I've got no leg up on the queen. And Finn says, here's my promise, Fia. In a few days, I'll send word and we'll stay in touch and we'll continue talking. And if Crash here is willing to go with us and she is somewhat loyal to you as well, perhaps she can be our go-between in a sense, or make sure that your interests are protected. And Fia says, aye, that makes sense. The problem is once my eyes are off you, I don't know what you're doing. Crash, will you make sure that the prince sticks to the plan and does well by me?
I'll try my very best. I feel that some of the politics here seem strange. I feel it is wrong to be dishonest and say that I believe you are being totally fervent in your beliefs. It seems that you're willing to allow this person a little extra wiggle room. I will hold the prince accountable to you via Charles.
He says, you're a smart one, aren't you? See a lot. Well, thank you, Crash. And the prince says, I think we have a plan. I realize that each person here has slightly different goals, but I think the most important thing to me, at least, is the protection of the kingdom. And if our kingdom is currently being ruled by a person who ritualistically murders prisoners, we need to find out what is going on. And the protection of the kingdom will be best for all of you, whether you need money or you need justice or you just need a job. I think our interests align. Do you?
I believe
Yeah.
so, Your Liege.
Yes, Your Highness, I do believe that
My liege.
our interests do align. I can get behind those terms.
And Fia looks quizzical and thoughtful, and she says, I have eyes in the city, Finn. I've got my eyes on you. Do right by your word. And Prince Finn sort of puts his hand on her shoulder and says to her in a little bit more of a connected way, don't worry. we will stay connected. And it appears that you all have a bit of a plan. And the prince says, I will go with these people, and perhaps we will make it back to my mother by nightfall. I don't know. It is a bit of a trip. And so I think if anybody wants to prepare anything or do anything before setting out, now is the time.
I guess I'll
Yes.
say goodbye to some people. This doesn't have to be played out. I just go around.
Yeah, you go say goodbye to people, and there's a few different folks who really like you and have enjoyed your air of mystery and your intelligence, and who wish you well and wish you good luck and tell you to come back quickly so that we can mess up the plutocracy or whatever the hell's going on that we need to mess up. Any other preparations that people are doing before they leave?
Kaz will finish his potato, and that'll be it.
Yeah, and the prince goes and retrieves some rations for you all, so that everybody has something in their pack to eat. And he says, I'm sure we'll be dining in the castle very soon.
Trios is gonna walk out, and he's gonna stick his fingers in his mouth and whistle really loud, and he's gonna call Milano and Bella into the camp. See if they've got any rest or anything that he needs to tune up before the journey.
Yeah, I think some people are pretty surprised by these mechanical animals running into the camp, but you know, no one attacks them as they appear to be of good nature, and they arrive at your tent. This mechanical fox and mechanical horse.
Kaz would look at the animals and just look in awe and say, my word, what are those? Those are animals, but metal.
Yes, these are my traveling companions. The horse here, his name is Milano. He's not entirely machine. He's a result of many hours of experimentation and moving, animating steel and iron through arcane means. As is this, and I holds up the little black and silver fox. This is Bella. She's very handy in many situations. I would not have been able to sneak in here last night if it wasn't for her. Yeah, as much good as that did in the long run, but very handy.
My word, this is absolutely brilliant. How long did it take you to assemble these?
I mean, my practice in the arcane has been years of practice, but these specific creatures, once you know the trick of how to use a gemstone to animate steel, is not as difficult as one might think. I've heard of others doing something similar, but these are the only ones I know. They do sometimes attract a little bit of attention, though, as you might imagine.
I assume so, yes. I'd be surprised if not.
Yes, but Very handy for long journeys, though. I am not much of a hiker myself.
Understood. Neither am I.
Any other preparations before leaving for y'all?
Nope.
Nope. Not all.
All right, so you gather by the southern entrance of the camp, and the prince takes a moment to say goodbye to Fia, and you're sent off with a few waves, and you start to leave the wooden palisade fortress of the Children's Rebellion camp. Let me get this little map up here. You ride out through the woods to the south from the direction that some of you arrived, knowing that the castle is to the south, and you ride south for some hours, eventually coming upon the sheep shearing village of Crinth Atala. As you emerge from the woods and approach, you start to smell sort of a old wet sweater smell, because there are fields and fields of sheep all around this village, which some of you have been to. Do you pass by the village?
You, my friends, you can pass by through this village if you'd like, but I think I'm going to take a bit of a wide berth around. I did not leave this village in very good standing, and I am what you may call conspicuous.
My word. You get around.
Yes, well, this is the path we took to arrive to the camp was through this town, and some misunderstandings were had.
Wow. Okay, well, in your time in this village, was there many homeless or people in need? Anything of the sort? If so, I would like to go in and see if I could do just a little bit, give them food or anything.
Ah, well, it is not a wealthy town, but I'm not sure if I would classify them as those in need necessarily. They seem quite self-sufficient.
Okay then, I shall accompany you, Drios. If there are no people in need there, then I shall take your word for it. You've been there and I have not.
No, thank you very much.
Do not think of it.
So, yeah, I think I'm gonna try and take a bit of a detour around the western outskirts of the village.
Does everybody want to avoid the village together? Is anybody raring to see the rustic sheep shearing environs?
I
As
mean,
will accompany Drios.
I mean, are they going like, are they averting? Because we're just walking. I'll just walk through. It's just faster.
Sure.
I'll follow Crash.
All
Have
right.
fun.
So let's see. So Crash and TikTok walking through the center of town. You see really it takes you a good while to get to the center of the town. There are a lot of fields, rolling fields, and some of the fields have little clumps of sheep and farmhouses, but mostly a lot of open space. It's kind of like a cloudy sky, but the clouds are sheep. And eventually you make it to the center of the area, and there are some structures there. You see a tavern of sorts. You hear music coming from within. It's about 1 p.m. now, I'd say. And the over the tavern's entrance is hanging a sign that has a painting of a glaive with like a shiny mark on the blade of the glaive. And there are also some other little structures around. You see a few people on the streets, on the dusty streets, which may as well just be one crossroads, and they appear very concerned with their tasks and to be quite rustic in garb.
I'm just passing through.
Can I try to pickpocket one of the ones who are busy with their task?
Sure. Roll stealth first. And oh yeah, and give me a sec because I don't have the dice open yet. There's nothing more Skyrim than trying to crouch behind somebody and then pick their pocket. So yeah, roll stealth for hopefully sneaking around in an alleyway or behind something to try to come up behind somebody.
Okay.
The kobold and the tabaxi walk into a bar.
Yeah, we'll see. But right now, he's pickpocketing a rando on the street.
Can I
That's
roll
stealth.
perception against this?
You
And that's the pickpocket. 13 for both.
yeah. So before you roll for pickpocketing, so you roll a 13 for stealth, and so this lady who's carrying a bunch of hay from one place to another, she notices you trying to sneak up on her, and she's like, what is this? What are you? Some kind of monster? And she starts to like run with her hay away from you before you can even get near her pockets. And you see someone poke their head out of the tavern with the glaive over the thing, and it's a guy with a long piece of hay in his mouth, and he's looking out, and he says, "What's that over there? Some kind of jumped up lizard?"
No. And then I go next to Crash and I say, I don't like this place.
Rat, did you try and steal someone and then get assaulted and insulted twice? That's a strange series of events.
I think it's a sign.
I think it's bad. Hey y'all, this is like a normal thing. This is normal.
It's okay. We can go now.
Are you sure? I can get your back. This
No,
is fine.
it's okay. It's okay.
All right. I mean, whatever you want, man.
I feel like everyone's looking at me now, and I don't really want to be here anymore.
No. It's just in your head. It's all right. It's all right.
Everyone is looking at you.
I'll like shield him.
So do you all like keep moving along, or do you stay and defend your honor?
No, TikTok does not defend his honor.
Oh,
So
Fergus, yes. TikTok, no.
So TikTok starts darting, continuing south.
Yeah.
And Crash, are you gonna Hulk out
I'm,
and defend honor, or are you?
I'm coming along. I'm just kind of like looking around, making sure no one's being
The
too
guy,
rowdy.
the guy peeking out the door is like, "Hey, it's one of them cat people.
Yeah, I'm a cat person.
Last time we saw one of you, you killed our people."
What? Is that guy named Drios?
I don't know cat people's names.
Right. Well, did you know the name of the guy who killed people?
And then he yells into the bar, "Hey everyone, we got another one of them cat people back to kill us."
Motherfucker, I don't care. Like that's
Baton.
I'll like walk over.
No.
Are you sure?
That's a terrible thing for a DM to ask. So I'll walk 5 feet forward.
I'm out.
So he yelled into the bar, "Hey everybody, there's one of those cat people back to kill us." And over the next few seconds, other people start coming out of the bar. There's a short, stubby fella and a tall, slender fella. There's also a dwarf in a smoking jacket, and the people come out of the tavern, and they you hear a general hubbub, and people are saying, "That's one of them cat people. Hey, killed my friend. Just
Right,
like
but we're famous for not killing people. That's like a thing.
And you see them raising their fists like they want to fight you, and more people come out of the bar. And there's like at least 8 people, and one of them's got a farming implement, and they look like they are
Why'd
ready.
you bring your pitchfork to the bar? What's wrong with you?
Woke up and chose violence.
I need to settle.
That person throws their pitchfork at you.
Ah, why? All right.
It's a hit.
Wait, what? Can I cast shield?
You could. Did you cast mage armor this morning?
I did not.
Do you want to pretend you did?
Sure.
Because your AC is 11, so
It's true.
that's why
I'll
I asked
bump
you
it
if
up.
you had mage armor. So let's find out.
Yeah, okay.
Let's find out. So mage armor is 13 plus your dex mod.
That also means my thing is up.
So your AC
Cool.
is 14 now, with you having done that this morning. And it is currently still a hit, so let me know if you want to cast mage armor.
Uh,
I mean,
well, I
sorry,
mean, I cast mage armor.
cast.
No, I won't burn the spell slot. I'll take it.
Okay, so yeah, this crowd of people starts pouring out and looking dangerous. One of them throws a pitchfork at you while yelling, "That's one of those cat people that killed my friend," and hits you for 7 damage, taking you to 18 out of 25.
Well, my arcane ward is up, so I don't take that directly.
What's how many hit points does the arcane ward have?
It has 12 hit points, so
Okay, and that was 7, I said.
7.
So you got 5 out of 12 left on the arcane ward.
All right.
And so yeah, describe what it looks like when a pitchfork hits an arcane ward.
Yeah, for sure. So, my metallic fur, which is normally kind of metallic, shiny, shines almost multicolored, kind of like a oil spill, like a rainbow sort of over my form. Um, and as it hits, it sort of hits this like invisible barrier that only appears in the moment of the pitchfork kind of hitting against me. That's like a foot away from my face. As like kind of metal just appears in the air for a second where it hits.
and the pitchfork gets bent as it hits that, and the guy yells, "That was my best pitchfork!"
Motherfucker, you brought it to work, or you brought it to the leisure.
And,
All right, I ain't gonna square up. I'm gonna walk away.
Okay, well they start chasing you.
Okay, cool. I
And
really think about casting Flaming Sphere on them, but I'm just gonna run.
TikTok, did you just run away or did you come?
Yeah, full sprint. Full sprint.
So you're running away from the mob.
Yes.
So Crash, you're running away from the mob of cat hating jerks. All right, so I don't know, give me either athletics or acrobatics roll.
No, my weak little wizard body. Athletics or acrobatics.
Both of us, or
They rolled really poorly, so
What is my acrobatics? It's definitely better.
it's +1.
It's +1. Okay, I'll roll my thing.
But they rolled
Okay.
a 6. They rolled a 6, so
Okay.
you've got a chance.
Okay, 15.
All right, you make it away. You catch up with TikTok, who is zipping along like a monk, faster than anybody.
Why'd you run? You could have talked to them.
I thought you had it. I saw you kill like my 2 friends earlier. So, well, not kill, but
Right, I'm not gonna kill a bunch of random people.
I don't know. You could though if you wanted.
I guess I did. I kind of wanted to, but they all seem real helpless.
And because of your detour slowing you down, you just happen to meet up with Drios and Kaz, who because they went around the town, they went slightly slower. You went straight down, but then you sort of slowed down in the middle. And for some strange reason, you just happened to meet each other again on the road just south of town.
The
Would
town sucks, huh, guys?
would Kaz and Trios be close enough to hear some kind of like loud noise or commotion or anything, or no?
No,
Oh, okay.
they'd have to tell you about it.
Oh, okay.
It appears you have met the wonderful locals of this beautiful town.
They're bad.
I
Bad
can't-
people.
I mean, yeah, they weren't nice. Did you kill people in that town?
Oh, I didn't.
Who did you kill? Why?
I didn't kill anyone.
Oh, you didn't.
Not
Sorry,
for lack of trying at the very end, to be honest, but
Oh my.
uh,
Huh. They.
Basnik tried to stay and heal as many people as he could, but we took a hint and decided it was time to leave.
Right. I didn't like them, so you were right.
Yes, I should have given more of a warning.
No, it was my glibness. Let me be clear. It was my decision to talk to those people, and they weren't great.
Nah.
They called me names. They called me Lizard Boy. All I did was try to steal from one of them.
That'll do it. You see, the whole thing that started the misunderstanding last time was one of my companions played a small prank on them, and they are very good at overreacting. I'm sure.
No sense of humor.
No sense of humor. No. Where's the prince through all this?
Yeah.
So I was just reading about Arcane Ward, and it actually it starts when you cast an abjuration spell.
Yeah, which would be
and it ends rest. So casting mage armor in the morning is going to be a smart move because that will start your abjuration, your thing. So that's even better reason to retcon that you cast it in the morning.
Yes. Also, it heals when I cast abjuration spells. So I can ritual cast alarm to heal it up.
Which maybe I'll finish reading that. But by the way, it's a 13. It's a 13, not a 12.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. and that's a good reason to take alarm. Yeah, do you Drios, you want to share any other details about what happened in the town?
Uh, I mean, not much else happened. We stopped to buy a drink, and they seemed very fascinated by my unique features. And well, they were aggressive, but we were able to talk our way out. But as I said, one small prank led to a misunderstanding, led to shots being fired. Um, and yes, a man did end up dead. But well, I couldn't do anything about it, honestly. To be honest, I barely did anything that whole fight. It was rather embarrassing for me.
Yeah, I feel like from that and from their aggression, I fully believe you, and I think you were right.
Okay.
Ritual casting alarm will refill it.
Yeah.
So that's good. Once you create the ward, you can't create it again until you finish a long rest.
So if it breaks, it's gone for the day.
Yeah. So that's that's a pain.
Yeah.
But it was 13 instead of 12, so you have 6 left on it.
Yeah.
And at this point, Arthas and the prince and the horse, Basnik, all decided to go around the town as well rather than through it. And at this point, Arthas, who, you know, I would love to kill with a heart attack at any moment, but it just feels like such a cheap way out. And I like Arthas, and who knows when we might need him to reappear for a good lore dump at the right moment. So Arthas says to you all, listen, I appreciate what you're all doing in returning the prince, but I've got to find this treasure that I came out here for. I think it's time to part ways. I'm going to hobble off here to the east and find this treasure. But because I contributed so much to saving the prince, I want a percentage of what you get from the queen, and I'll meet up with you later to get it. Does that sound like a plan? And he waves his hook around a little more.
Sure. In return, I would like a percentage of this treasure you find for saving your life.
Well, if you give me a percentage and I give you a percentage, that might cancel itself out, won't it? I suppose it depends on the percentages.
Yes, it depends on the total amount.
Well, I've heard the phrase before, a queen's ransom. So I'll gamble on the idea that that'll be larger. I don't know, but I'll be back for my percentage.
Very well.
And
I look forward to it.
He starts hobbling away very slowly. You know, it's just slow enough to be comedic that it's taking it forever to
kind of yell out, I don't forgive you for charming me. That was fucked up.
And he yells back, fuck you anyway.
Ah.
That's Arthas for you. And Drios, you still have the globe, right?
Yeah.
The snow globe of exceeding confusion.
Yeah.
Did you discover how to work it? Yeah, Luna told you how to work it, right?
She told me what she knew, but it didn't seem like very much.
One of these days I gotta tell you all what happened with the globe in another campaign. It was very funny. Yeah, you pick a target and you use your action to use the globe on it, and then you roll
something happens.
You roll a D100, yeah. And it's very powerful. That's all you know for now.
Mhm.
So Arthas limps into the sunset, and Basnik snorts at him, and you see like a little horse tear go down his horse cheek. And Basnik says, "Oh."
Yes,
And,
quite profound. I'm sure he'd appreciate that.
and
Thank you. You
Bas-
just reminded me.
Basnik puts his horse head on your
Oh.
head, Rios, like he needs a comforting. What were you gonna say, Kaz?
Well, I was gonna say, in that moment when he does that, Kaz would just then remember the day before when he went up to him. No greetings, no nothing. He just called him Dove. And so you look over at Trios and be like, my, I almost forgot about that. What was all that about a dove? He called me Dove. I still don't know what he was on about.
Yes, Basnik. I do not think even Basnik knows what he was talking about, really, but he said ever since joining us, he's spoken of a dream. Although this dove, I'm pretty sure he was convinced that the prince was this metaphorical dove. But I just think it was a dream. I
Oh,
said I whisper that so the horse doesn't hear me.
The horse rolls perception. The horse hears you.
Ah,
And he gives you a look like he's hurt by what you said.
Kaz would nod at Trios. Why, thank you. It quite bothered me all night. I did not know what he was talking about, and I wasn't sure to be complimented or offended. Thank you for enlightening me.
nah, don't worry about it. Like I said, once he's done being a horse, he should be able to tell you more about it. I do not specialize in such things.
Understood.
As you continue south on the road, you pass by the place where you all were. Someone, at least Drios at the time, was ambushed by the Children's Rebellion. Drios, you were there,
Oh
yeah?
yeah. I thought that was at a different time.
An old lady turned into a wizard who rope tricked into the sky where everyone forgot about him. And a bunch of Children Rebellion soldiers jumped out from either side of the ravine and tried to ambush you all, you evil minions of the Queen. And a mysterious hooded lady rode north after the battle. And you put together that hooded lady was Fia. As you pass through the ravine, you see the couple day old remains of the people that died in the battle. A couple of the teenagers in mismatched leather armor.
Kaz would just look over at the bodies like very remorsefully and just say, my, it is quite a tragic sight seeing youths displayed in such disarray. Why must war exist? Why must children suffer?
Well, these ones suffered because they jumped us.
Say what?
Yes, it was quite a surprise. One moment I was helping this old lady, she had this broken wagon. Next moment, a bunch of kids are trying to stab me. I just shot them.
My word, okay.
Quite gruesome.
Small world, I guess. I'm speechless. But still,
Yes, not my proudest moment.
I'm gonna go over to the bodies and try and mold earth to give them some proper graves, or just bury them at least.
Okay, describe that, please.
Sure. Yeah, I think Crash is kind of silent in this moment, just kind of nods at all of you and walks over. Are they like toppled on top of each other?
No, they're laying where they fell.
Okay.
One of them's up on top of a cliff face. The other, there's a couple lying in the middle of the road.
I'll move the ones that were on the road off the road and sort of shuffle them around so that they're like next to each other, slightly separated, and then I'll hold out my left hand, which is my only hand, and some like sort of strange symbols appear on the back of it, and sort of this silver light, um, and little like 5 foot divots in the ground just kind of like shift downwards very quickly. And over the course of like a few minutes, I guess, I dig out pretty well, almost like geometrically square, rectangular graves for all of them. And if their eyes are open, I will close them and be very official with it, and then use mold earth again to kind of cover it so that it doesn't, so that there's like very little disturbance, so that it looks almost like it's natural.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
Anybody have any reaction to that, or you all just keep walking?
Kaz would look over at Crash and just like look at her very surprised and say to her, "My, that was quite clever and very, very respectful of you. On behalf of these children and their parents, thank you for caring. That was
Yeah,
very, very noble of you."
just what's right. Not needing anything from it.
True.
Are you particularly talented in the arcane as well? I did not realize.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I've cast a few spells at all of you. Oh, right, you weren't part of that initial battle. No, no, yeah, I've sort of self-taught, but yeah, know a thing or two.
How interesting. Perhaps we shall compare notes in the future.
Sure, yeah, I'd love to know more about your particular type of spell casting.
So you continue south out of the ravine and through the woods. This forest is maples, birches, beech, oak. The trees are separated by 3 or 4 feet. As it turns into the afternoon, god fingers of light come down through the canopy of the trees. You're traveling on a road that's about 10 foot across and very hard packed dirt. Every once in a while, you see a piece of a flagstone peeking out from under the dirt that hints that this road may have been paved centuries ago. There's thick foliage, bushes and brambles in between the trees, and there's a peaceful quality to it as gets a little closer to 4 o'clock, let's say. You come to a part in the road where there are some smears in the road of blood, perhaps some tufts of animal fur, and near it there is just a very low level of water that flows across the road. And none of you would know what this place was in this game, but 2 of
But I
you.
think Luna told me about it, yeah.
How does Drios react to this area?
Uh, some of my previous companions, they mentioned something about being attacked by a large bear and having to retreat through a river. I suspect this may be that place. Keep a lookout for bears, I suppose.
Right? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Duly noted. I shall look out for these bears.
You hear it.
Oddly, I don't feel too good about that.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, no reason.
Hmm.
Yeah, Crash and TikTok, you both have this sort of feeling like in a past life, this has some echoes for you. And Eve and Daniel's characters died here in the other
We
campaign.
died horribly. It was bad. It was my fault.
And in this campaign, Cyrus died here and gave his globe to Luna, who gave the globe to Drios. So yeah, you don't hear a very large and scary roar in the distance. It appears safe for now. You continue south?
I'd be
Yeah.
on board.
The prince looks at the remains and says, "Oh my, I thought all the monsters had been cleaned up in our country. I wonder what took place here."
Some kind of bear, I think.
Ah, yes, a natural wonder, the bear.
Hmm.
Beautiful.
Not for whoever was attacked here. I don't think they thought it was very beautiful.
Oh, well, best to get back to the castle before sunset. And
Yes.
you all continue south and make it to the edge of the tree line here. It getting to be about 6 p.m.-ish now. And the sky over the last 2 hours has been getting a little bit more gray and dim, and a very light drizzle starts to fall as you make it into the farmland that's outside the city. Of course, a city of this size requires a lot of farms to keep it going and to feed all the people. And this is sort of like an unincorporated county kind of situation where there are lots of villages there that aren't villages. They're really just trading posts among all the farmers' fields. So sometimes as you're walking, you're passing through crossroads where people are perhaps selling meat pies or that sort of thing. But at other moments, you're just walking through fields, not of sheep like around Krintha Tala, but fields for cultivation of agriculture. And sometimes you're in empty fields, sometimes you're next to a field where there's a worker or two. A lot of times you see scarecrows posted up near the road. And there's still like an hour and a half left before sunset. And the prince says, "Ah, I can only imagine being able to sleep in my bed tonight instead of in a camp. Ah, in bed in the castle." And
So
go ahead.
no, I was just gonna comment. I was just gonna say, sounds very nice, Your Majesty.
Indeed, it's been some time, and now knowing that I have you all to protect me from anything that might be happening there, I might sleep soundly for once this evening.
I
Uh,
just
Yes.
realized I haven't laid down in a bed for like 6 months.
Do you usually sleep standing up?
I don't usually sleep.
Hmm.
I don't know how that would work. if I tried, but I just don't really need to.
How is that possible? I thought living organisms required it.
I
That,
thought so too.
hmm.
Hmm.
Kaz would give a little like quizzical look and just a little and then like note that, just like duly noted to research it later.
Yeah,
Mhm.
kind of nod at you.
Um, so as you are walking through these fields, some of which are empty, um, with this light drizzle falling on your shoulders, you get to a place in the road. Tell me the order in which you're walking, please.
Kaz would kind of be like he would for sure be behind the prince. Um, but he wouldn't try to be like in the very back of the line. He would just try to stick behind the prince as kind of more like an entourage kind of thing. He
Right.
wouldn't try to walk in front.
Okay. So he'd be sort of in the back and behind the prince, sort of protecting the prince.
Yeah.
And where would everybody else be?
I think I'd be in front of him, riding on Milano's back, just sort of clearing the way for him, keeping an eye out.
Okay.
TikTok would be at the back.
So who's the frontiest person?
I guess
I guess I am.
I'll go next to TikTok.
So everybody's in the back. So that puts our artificer in the front, riding his horse, our 3 foot tall little cat boy on a mechanical horse riding through the so you know the your battle your what do they call that thing? Your steel defender.
Mhm.
Your steel defender can attack with its bonus action, but if you're riding it, it's going to use the controlled mount rules, which means that it can dash as its action, which would use its action.
Yeah.
I'm just pasting some shite to a different person recently. Let me see if I can paste this shite to you.
He's also keeping an eye out, by the way. He has his own perception, and apparently he can't be surprised.
That's really good.
Well, as much as he can't be surprised, still be surprising. So as you're walking down the road, between two scarecrows, all of a sudden, these two scarecrows come to life. And the scarecrow nearest to you, Drios, it feels like it peers into your soul with big open black pits for eyes, and its mouth opens like a pit straight to hell, and the scarecrow looks at you with its sightless pits and goes,
How fun.
yes. And I would like you to all roll for initiative, please.
Ooh, wow.
And none of you are surprised, but
Oh.
it is surprising.
Mhm. It's
So
certainly unexpected.
Yeah.
especially not Drios. Drios is the least surprised of all.
He is super unsurprised.
He sees them start moving before he gets over there, and he's like, these fucking things look totally coming alive. Let me my battle. Oh, I like this one. This one's good. But we'll just put it in the middle. We'll see what's at 53 minutes in. There we go. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay. Get rid of this beautiful map so I can see my browser. And we got this one. All right, everybody, tell me what your initiatives are.
16.
10.
One moment. Hold
19.
on, don't tell me yet.
Oh.
16 from Crash. What'd you say, Kaz?
10.
Okay, Drios.
19.
TikTok.
13.
All right. I need to bring in the battle camera so you can see what's going on. And as these scarecrows are doing this horrible, creepy yell, you also see some movement from some nearby mud puddles that have been, gathering in the drizzle. Let me see here. Let me get this camera going. And let's see about this scream. Okay. Get this camera up. Booey.
Whoa. Got a little close there.
The camera arm fell off. Give me a sec. If you guys want to take a 1 or 2 minute bio break, I'm going to get this set up properly.
Mm.
Dang. Dang, I'm not gonna lie, like, you and Evie, you guys kind of, like, your characters kind of blew me away with what classes you were. I thought you were Arcane Trickster, to be honest, because that whole, climbing
Wait,
over
for
the
who?
wall.
For me?
Yeah, I thought you were an
Oh.
Arcane Trickster, so that completely surprised me. Arcanist. That was cool.
Yeah, nah, I'm a tinkerer. I like
Nice.
it's why I'm in this country in the first place, is to find relics of the more advanced arcane era.
Nice. And Evie, I never expected a wizard. I was thinking like some kind of martial class, to be honest.
Oh, Eve. I was like,
Yeah.
Eevee the Pokemon? What are you talking
Oh,
about, bro?
oh yeah. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I thought Evie
Yeah,
would just evolution some.
2 magical cats just hanging out.
I was thinking about like making some kind of joke like Kazakh asking if you guys were like related or something like that, but I was like, nah, that wouldn't really make sense. They didn't act like they knew each other, but it was just so
Yeah,
fun.
there's a previous character, Luna. She's We talked about her a little bit. She gave me the globe. She had a few cat features too, and all of those hillbillies in that town we just passed by thought we were related to each other.
What's that?
Yeah. Even
Oh, your dog is very cute.
Oh, thank you. She's a little sleepy puppy. She's just laying on the bed. For a second there, that kind of scared me. I was like, I saw something right here. I was like, what? Oh yeah, Eve. You and Drios' character surprised me. Like, I didn't think your guys' classes were what they were. That was awesome.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Uh-huh. Because like
Yeah,
I got to find out in character. It was
It's
really
very
cool.
fun.
Mhm.
I actually don't remember your class. Oh, you're a blade spell? You're a wizard, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Blade
Yeah.
singer.
You guys are not
Oh
very
god, we're all spellcasters.
martial right now.
Nope.
what's TikTok, like a rogue or
He's a monk. So
Oh
he's a
shit.
monk?
yeah,
Ooh,
oddly
Fuck.
enough, based on
interesting party moments.
his role play, he's a monk. But yeah, I don't know. When I play shit, this camera arm might fall off again. Maybe I attached this thing too many times.
Mm,
And yeah, it's probably gonna fall off in the middle of the game and then everything over. So that'll be a pain in the butt. But we'll live on the edge till it does.
Nice.
So let's see. Yeah, this camera off is falling off. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna do it one
No
more.
worries.
I'm gonna try to attach it one more time. I'm gonna pick a different part of this thing to attach it to.
Nice. Oh yeah, Daniel. Like TikTok is a monk?
Yeah, he's a monk.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Never would have guessed it.
I don't think I've seen you do anything in combat.
I haven't really had a chance. Well, I guess there was kind of the chance when
You hid
Arthas and
for like a full combat, so you didn't do anything.
well, it was also because I had just met
No,
Arthas and Vaznek.
it was perfect. It was really fun.
Yeah. I feel like especially since he was just kind of looking for a job, he didn't really have any established loyalty to anyone. And then like 5 minutes after meeting them, there was combat. So he's not really gonna stick his neck out.
It's
True.
perfect. I also love the begging for your life at the end. It was good.
Yeah.
Good day.
But that was also why TikTok like ran with the town situation because he's like the one person like he's seen you fight and you brought out like a literal son. So he's like, she's got it. She's good.
Fair enough. I could have killed all of those people. I was 100% sure of it, but it was equally like, oh, I wouldn't kill people who aren't like in power. That would be punching down, and also like, I don't want to waste a third level spell slot.
hmm.
I don't know. I was a little worried for you at that moment. I was a little, god damn it.
I guess Flaming Sphere isn't like that strong, but they were a bunch of commoners.
I don't
Just
know.
one
They had
good
those
AoE.
pitchforks. All
Actually,
right.
yeah.
So I've got everybody at the back of the pack there. So we've got where'd you go? There you are. So this is our Blade Singer. This is our Kobold. And this is our Tabaxi Wizard. And then we've got our Artificer here. He's got his homunculus next to him. And he's riding on this horse. He's small and the horse is medium. And the prince is this child miniature, even though he's 16. So the prince is currently in between the Blade Singer and the Artificer. And there's these two scarecrows on either side of the road that just came to life. And they're screaming at you. Those wooden blocks are hay bales that are about 5 feet high and 5 feet wide. So use those as you will. So Drios, you are first to act.
Okay. So the scarecrows screaming actually like do anything, or are they just screaming at me?
Well, I was arguing with myself because of the no surprise thing, but I'm gonna have them do the scream on their turn. So
Gotcha.
You see them getting ready to scream. You see the sound bubbling up from inside their buttocks.
Okay. Seeing these guys start to move and open their mouth towards me, I'm immediately gonna draw the pistol that I acquired in that one ambush and just pop a little flame bullet into the end of it and shoot this straw man. Hopefully it has some effect.
Yeah, so that's +2 to hit and +2 fire damage to your hit. So go ahead and roll to hit.
Yeah. So for the pistol, is it just like a D20 plus proficiency or like
This is your starting pistol?
this is it's a knockback pistol. It's a
Yeah. It's dexterity. Yeah. It's the same thing you would do with a ranged weapon. It's your D20 plus your dex plus proficiency.
okay, so it's a D20 plus 4. Where's my dice thing? Okay.
But you're using the 5 fire bullets that you found in the bag, so it's +2 more to hit because they're +2 bullets, and they do +2 fire damage to the weapon's damage. All right, so
19.
you definitely hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. That is a
I believe it's a D8 for that
yeah,
weapon,
it's a D8 plus 2.
+2 for the fire.
Nice.
Shit, max
And
damage.
he's got to make a strength saving throw.
Yep. So first, the bullet slams into the scarecrow, and you see him take the damage, but you also see a chunk of the scarecrow catch on fire, and it looks like this bullet, the fire of this bullet has really hurt this scarecrow. As before it even goes to do this creepy death scream, it like whimpers a little bit. And it makes a strength save and it fails. So were you targeting the northern scarecrow or the southern scarecrow?
Northern, the one I'm closest to.
So that gets pushed back 5 feet from you by the force of the bullet. Any further description you'd like to add there?
No, as soon as he's gets pushed back a little bit, I'm gonna hop off of Milano and just ready my shield, shield in one hand and my pistol in the other, and face the other one, getting ready for whatever he's got next.
All right. So oops.
No, there's my video.
I meant to do something else. So as soon as that happens, the scarecrows get off their screams, and everybody needs to make a wisdom save as
Yeah, okay.
the 2 scarecrows look towards you all and just go,
Your mic does not like screams.
No,
what is it doing?
It just instantly like
silent.
peaks. Yeah, it just silences you.
Well, that's cool. Good enough. No one in space, no one can hear you scream. So everyone tell me what your wisdom save rolls are.
20.
18.
11.
Well,
Okay, so the 11s and 12s are gonna fail. Let me see how that will affect you. Fortunately, it doesn't affect you a ton, but you 2 wizards are both frightened of the scarecrow that shouted, which will make the southern scarecrow. So my 2 wizards are these. And so you two are frightened of the scarecrow, which means you'll have disadvantage on attack rolls against the scarecrow, and you cannot move closer to the scarecrow while you are frightened of it. And so that is their little surprise move. And going back to the combat order, Crash, you're up.
Oh boy, okay. I'm gonna go and let me see if I have to. Okay. Um
By the way, for
yes, okay.
Milano, he's just gonna move in between the scarecrows and the prince just to try and protect him.
The horse that you're riding?
Yeah, because I hopped off of him.
Oh, okay. And where did you go?
I moved up just a step, just to stand in front of Milano, who is standing in front of the prince.
Copy that.
Yep.
All right. So Crash, what are you up to?
Yeah, I'm gonna cast I guess yeah, I'll cast the flaming sphere and try and bash it into the one that just feared me.
Okay, are you making it appear next to this?
Yeah, right next to it.
Okay. Let me look up my flaming sphere stuff. So yeah, you use your bonus action to you use your action to cast flaming sphere, and then you use your bonus action to ram it. So any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of it will need to make a dex save. As a bonus action, you can move your sphere up to 30 feet, and then you can ram a creature to make it make the saving throw. So that guy is going to make his dex save, the scarecrow that it's next to, and he actually passes.
Ooh, okay.
And so he's going to take half 2d6. So go ahead and roll 2d6. Okay, so he's going to take 2, but you notice that the fire burns away pieces of the scarecrow body, and that the scarecrow fucking hates it. This
Lovely.
and it cries out.
Yeah, I guess just a little flavor. It is a big ball of like molten metal instead of fire. It's like kind of
Lava.
Yeah, lava.
Magma, red hot magma. Do you move anywhere?
No.
All right, and okay, that'll be your turn then.
Hmm.
All right. Next up, we've got TikTok. What are you doing, fella?
Which one am I?
You're in between this is you, this little red kobold here.
Okay. Then I think I'm going to try and make a sling attack on the scarecrow that is close to Drios.
That's this one?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll to hit.
That's an 18.
You hit.
All right, and that is 5 damage.
All right. The sling ball slaps into that thing and takes a chunk of hay out of it. And it looks pissed off at you. And what else would you like to do?
I think that's it for this time.
Any movement? That's
Um,
you. That's the prince. That's the homunculus of the artificer. These are bales of hay.
I think I'll move towards the south side of that hill of bay that is closest to me.
So like that?
Yeah.
All right, very good. Anything else?
That's it. I don't think I can hide as a bonus action.
I think as a monk, you might be able to attack as a bonus action.
Unarmed strike. Yeah. but then I'd have to get close.
Melee Steez. All right. Okay. Kaz, you're up. And that's you. And you're currently frightened of that scarecrow. So you can't get closer to it. And you would have disadvantage on attack rolls. What are you up to?
I would like to move on the north side of the prince to kind of like have him kind of surrounded by us.
Look at this creepy scarecrow.
That's pretty cool.
What a little
Um,
weirdo.
So you're
I
going
like the little hairband he's got.
so you're going to the north side of the prince?
Yep.
All right. There you be. What else?
I would like to cast Cloud of Daggers.
Yes. Where would you like to
Um,
cast it?
I would like to cast it on the one I'm currently frightened of.
Okay, so you're gonna put a cloud of daggers under the space that it's currently in, or in the a 5-foot cube of spinning daggers that are inside of the space that the scarecrow is in.
Yes.
And so that's your action. Do you have a bonus action you'd like to use?
Uh, I can use telekinetic as my bonus.
You can.
Okay. I would like to push back the one that Drios already pushed back to push him just like farther.
All right. He's gonna make a strength save against that, and he passes. So you see the hay on his scarecrow body, sort of moving with your telekinetic push, but he doesn't move further on that one.
Nice.
Anything else?
Nope.
All right. The scarecrows are up, and they're feeling feisty, I think. Let's see. So when this one starts its turn in your cloud of daggers, it's going to take the cloud of dagger damage. So go ahead and roll 4d4 to see how much those daggers slice up this scarecrow.
Right.
Damn. That's a pretty good roll.
Ooh, what does the
Nice.
spell look like?
Yes. Would you like to add a description of the appearance of this spinning cloud of daggers?
Yes, like so underneath the well actually no, they come from the top. So there's like a kind of like a circle that starts at the top of the scarecrow of like an assortment of kind of magical daggers. Each of them look different, like of different kind of shapes and sizes and stuff like that, like normal daggers and like just different kind of like the elvish ones are kind of curved and the kind of European ones are more pointed. It's just like an assortment of them. And then they start at the top and then work their way down, just like cutting multiple parts of the scarecrow from the top down, and they don't stop until they reach the bottom.
And the scarecrow is like, as pieces of hay fly around in all directions, and the burning pieces, the pieces of hay fall onto the molten lava sphere next to it, and it's a mess. The scarecrow is not in a good mood. Speaking of which, it decides to get in there and fuck with y'all. Let's see. First of all, it turns its eyes over to our little kobold monk who's hiding back there, and it locks eyes with you, TikTok, and it these open black pits of its eyes look at you, and it's almost like dotted lines connect your eyes to it as it peers into your soul, and you feel a force of fear emanating out from it. And please make a wisdom save.
Okay.
Okay. You are frightened until the end of the scarecrow's next turn, and in being frightened, you are paralyzed with fear.
Okay.
So it stares at you and does that to you, and then it comes over to you and takes a slash at you with its claws. And that's an 18 to hit.
That
And
hits.
where's my dice here? And it slashes at you with somehow some kind of metal claws that are underneath the hay. And even though I rolled a bunch of dice, I still rolled quite low. So it's only 6 damage for you. Lucky fellow, taking you to 29 out of 35. Wait a second. Is it an auto crit when they're paralyzed, or is it just an auto hit when they're paralyzed? Paralyzed. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage. Any attack that hits the creature is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet of the creature. Okay, so I'm gonna add more damage to that 5. You'll take 8 more damage on top of that, taking you to 21. And the scarecrow goes at you. The other scarecrow tries to do the same thing to Drios with the stares deep into your soul, and make a wisdom save, Drios, please.
Okay. 14.
I believe you pass. Yes. But the scarecrow heads over to you anyway and tries to slice at you with some claws. And that's a hit. And it is 8 damage for you.
I'm gonna shield.
All right. Let me check what I rolled here. Or let me check its hit bonus here. So that is a 21 to hit.
With the shield, I have 22.
Yep. All right. So you don't take the damage, none. And
Nice.
the scarecrow is frustrated looking. It's the most frustrated looking evil animated scarecrow you've ever seen in your life. And now that scarecrow's gone and attacked, the 2 scarecrows have, you see the movement from the mud puddles near you coalesce into what look like mud creatures that seem to also desire your demise. And these mud puddles come to life. And this one that's over here, it vomits a cone of mud filled with rocks all over everyone right here. So that's the prince, the horse, the homunculus, and our 2 frightened people. And you just see this fountain of mud spewing from this creature, and it has all sorts of chunky rocks in it that attempt to smash into you and cover you with mud. Oops. And I need all of you to make dex saves. So Drios, please make the dex save for the horse and the creature. I'll make, or the homunculus, and I'll make it for the prince. And my two wizards, please make your dex saves. Prince got a nat 20 dex save. He dodges out of the way of the rocks and avoids the mud hitting him. What are my two? What do we got? Who's rolling what here?
I
I
rolled
got a
16.
9.
22.
Okay, we got a 22 from what? The horse or the homunculus?
The horse. Oh, I forgot I have to roll for the homunculus too.
Okay, so who's the one that got the 20? Player 45, it says 20 plus 4.
That's Zach, I think.
Oh, I got a 16.
Okay, and what did you roll, Crash?
I got a 9.
Okay, so I think Crash is the only one affected. And this fountain of stuff smashes into you, and you take 4 bludgeoning damage from the rocks, or let's say your abjuration ward takes 4 bludgeoning damage from the rocks going.
So it's down to 2.
Ab ward is at 2 out of 13, and you didn't take any damage, so you don't have to make a concentration save on your sphere.
That's good.
So that's helpful. And then let's see. I think you're also yeah, and so now you are restrained by the mud.
Oh shit.
So the mud just covers you from head to toe, and you find yourself encased in this mud vomit from this creature, and you are restrained until the end of the mud mephit's next turn. So that's that one. This one comes over here and tries to punch our monk. And I guess that's an auto crit because I'm so mean. But it doesn't have very strong punchy punchers. So it thuds its thick fists into the monk's body, dealing 5 mud damage. Just kidding, it's bludgeoning damage. Bringing the monk to 16. And this other one rolls up on Drios and tries to hit Drios with its big chunky muddy fists, and it misses. It's too freaked out. It can't punch how small this cat figure is, so it just punches right over the cat's head. And all right, Drios, it's your turn again.
Okay. Holding off the line of these two.
Scarecrow, that's the mud man.
These two creatures. I'm gonna look over to my left, and I'm gonna see our small kobold combatant friend shaking, and I'm gonna get real pissed, and I'm gonna slam the butt of my pistol into my shield, and I say TikTok, and I'm gonna point to the guy that I shot earlier, the straw man. They are just dolls made of straw, my friend. There's nothing to worry about, and I'm gonna cast heroism on him.
Oh shoot! All right. So
it's a concentration spell while I'm concentrating.
with that though, because it is a touch spell, range of touch.
Oh, it's a touch. That sucks.
You inspired your shield.
Huh?
You cast heroism on your shield.
Yeah, my shield is very heroic.
Feel free to choose something else. It's okay.
Yeah. Man, I was just going through all that whole role playing in my mind and everything too.
That was cool.
Oh, it's a good moment.
Yeah. I'm gonna look towards TikTok and be like, man, I sure wish I could help him over there. And then I'm just gonna point blank shoot this mud dude in the head.
Okay, you will have disadvantage because you're right next to him. Go ahead and roll.
No, I don't have the gun feat in this game. That's another one. What's 11 is the lower one.
Guess what? You still hit. It's
Heck
really
yeah.
this mud guy has a low ass AC. So roll damage. Are you using the special bullets or normal bullets?
Um, just the regular one for now.
All right, roll damage. Plus your dex mod.
Oh, plus dex. +2, so that's 6.
All right, so that dude gets shot. Do you have any further description of that?
Nah,
All right.
I fend him off with my shield, and in the gap that creates, I managed to jam my pistol into mud and blast a solid chunk off of him. Or I don't know how solid of a chunk in comparison to the rest of it, but
You hear and do you any bonus action or movement?
yeah, well, Bella's right there. She's gonna help me out, and she's gonna jump onto my shoulder and then onto the straw man, and she's gonna do a 4 strike.
The homunculus is using her bonus action to do a force strike.
Yeah, I'm using my bonus action to command the homunculus to.
Yeah, she's gonna
Yeah.
use her action to do a force strike.
Yep.
Using the bonus action. So roll to hit.
Nice.
Dang.
Ah, beautiful. Okay. Roll your double damage dice on this. So that's gonna be 2d4 plus 2.
Not bad.
All right. So 6 damage on the scarecrow from your mechanical fox. Any description of what that looks like?
Yeah, like I said, she jumps onto my shoulder and then onto the scarecrow, and then you see in the gaps in the joints between the metal plating, bright blue glow emanates from her, and it all just gets funneled into the scarecrow she's standing on, and blasts some straw out of it, and then she hops on the ground right next to him, I guess.
All right. Crash, you're up.
All right. I'm going to.
You are restrained.
Is there any way to escape this? Could I roll anything?
Yeah, at the you're restrained until the end of its next turn.
Okay.
You can roll at the end of your turn to unrestrain yourself. But yeah, so for now you can't move. You have disadvantage on your attacks, and you're still frightened of this scarecrow.
Cool. First I'm going to bonus action try and ram the flaming sphere into the scarecrow that I'm not afraid of.
I think you can
I intentionally don't want to hit him because I don't want to get TikTok at the end of his turn.
Okay, so you're gonna move this up here.
Yep.
And the mud mephit will also be within 5 feet of it.
Wonderful.
at the end of its turn if it doesn't move. And so you want to ram it into the scarecrow. So all right, it's gonna make a dex save.
Right.
And your DC is what, 14?
13? Yeah, 13.
Okay, it fails. So
All right.
roll damage.
Takes 9 fire damage.
And this is that scarecrow up there. It takes more than 9 fire damage.
Ooh, very exciting.
Because it hates this fucking sphere of magma. And go ahead and describe its demise.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Damn, yeah, I guess you have this like it's just a doll moment, and then like seconds later, its chest just kind of like bursts open with magma, and the whole thing just kind of collapses in on itself.
And
Nice.
it as the spiraling pieces of hay collapse and twist, you hear it roar one last time. And there's nothing but smoke left and ash. And so that was your bonus action. Do you
That
have
was my bonus action.
an
I'm
action?
going my action. I'm going to kind of like the mud's very surrounding me, but I'm gonna do a disadvantaged attack against the one I am afraid of with firebolt.
Okay, roll to hit.
All right. How do I do this? Yes. Okay. That's a 14.
Nice.
That hits. Roll
Great.
damage.
All right. What was- 9 more damage. 9 more fire damage.
I like I like those dice too. Yeah, that scarecrow takes a good amount of damage and is looking quite messed up as it shouts and growls in pain.
I kind of like claw my one hand out of the mud for a second, and some of the molten magma like kind of I don't know, sprinkles on my fingertips and just juts out. I guess it hits the. It could it set the uh hay barrel on fire?
If
Since
you
I
were
think.
aiming for the hay thing,
Well, I might be looking at it wrong, but it. Oh, never mind. Sorry. Yeah, I would not be.
what did you roll to hit?
I rolled a 14.
Yeah, not good enough for amazing extra effects for today.
Alrighty, no worries.
But yeah, there's some flames around there, and it's looking mighty magma-y and flamey. Okay, TikTok, you are no longer paralyzed, and it is your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna go for an unarmed strike on the scarecrow.
Okay, go ahead.
That's a 16.
That hits.
I still
and
couldn't.
and 5 damage.
Okay, your little cobalt fist connects with the hay and hurts it, and it's actually looking pretty screwed up right now. What else would you like to do?
I think after that point, I'm gonna use a key point to disengage and get out of there.
All right, where are you headed?
Let me put it in full screen so I can see this. Let me boy, they're everywhere. I think I'll try to make my way by where the prince is.
So like here?
Yeah.
All right. you head over there, and the prince is currently surrounded by allies. And as you land there, he looks around at all of you and says, "Thank you. I wasn't sure I could trust you as complete allies, but I really appreciate this." And any bonus actions?
That is my bonus action.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
bonus action disengage, you run over there. End of
Yeah.
turn.
End of turn.
All right, Kaz, you're up.
I can you remind me where I am?
You are here.
Nice, thank you. I'd like to bonus action the mud creature in front of Thrios and telekinetically push him away from him.
The mud creature in front of Drios. Okay, it makes the strength save and it fails and it moves back 5 feet away from Drios.
Then can I make it over to the scarecrow and mud monster on the south side or no? Like without dashing.
Yeah, you can make it over here or here.
I would kind of like to get above the haymail to kind of like block, not block, but like get in between the TikTok and them to kind of get attention off them.
All right. Keep in mind, as a blade singer, you may want to use your bonus action to go into blade song on your next
Right.
to raise your AC and make you more difficult to hit. So you want to, sorry, everybody's a tabaxi. So you want to get on top of the hay bale there?
Would I still be able to reach them with my rapier?
Yeah, it's a 5 foot tall hay bale. So if you wanted to lean down and stab at them, you could. I thought that's where you said you wanted to go.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, so you're up
And
on that hay bale. I think you still have your action left. So you want to stabby stab?
yeah, I'll stabby stab. Is it only the mud creature nearest to me?
From there, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a stabby stab at the mud creature.
All right, roll the hit, please.
Okay.
Uh-oh. It's a crit. You're going to roll
Ah,
double damage die and then add your dex mod to it. So roll 2d8s and then we'll add your dex mod
okay.
of +4. So 2d8s +4.
Okay.
The badass blade singer runs into the mix, dealing 13 piercing damage with his rapier to the mud creature. What does this look like as you skewer this blob of goo?
So after pushing the mud creature away from Drios, I would Kaz would jump on top of the hay bale and stab like thrust his rapier into the mud creature's like eye and then just like swipe it like that.
Sweet. And yeah,
Swipe left.
mud splatters out the back of its head onto the ground, and it goes, hello. End of turn.
Yes.
All right. It is the one remaining scarecrow's turn, and it desires to cause some havoc. So what is it gonna do? I think it's gonna go up here and it's gonna slash its claws at your feet, trying to slash you up. And that is a hit. You're not in Blade Song, and you have not cast Mage Armor, right?
Nope. Can I cast shield?
All right. Yeah, that'll stop it from hitting you.
Nice. Okay.
What's that?
Reaction.
Yeah. So its claws are about to hit you, and instead they smash into a shield that appears around you. What does your shield look like?
My shield would look like it would look more like a kind of like a soothing, kind of like flowing like water, like a tranquil kind of um like a magical watery kind of wall. So as it would slam in, it would just be kind of like man, I can't think of the word. The kind of rings that go in the water when
The
you throw
ripple,
like a
like when
pebble.
you
Yeah.
scroll. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Ripple. Like there would be like a ripple right where you tried to hit me.
And you hear a bit of a splashing noise as the claws are deflected by these magical ripples. So the scarecrow, seeing that you are a difficult target, steps up to try to hit the kobold again. What
No.
a jerk, this scarecrow! And it misses, slicing over the top of the kobold's head. And apparently it's better at hitting medium creatures. And now we got some Mud Mephit's turns. This one is walking up on Crash and trying to pound on her with his muddy fists. And that is a miss as Crash dodges and weaves with her cat-like grace. Let me look for yes. Yes. So the Mud Mephit in front of Drios looks at you in the eyes, Drios, with its muddy face, and it barfs on you.
Nah.
And it just mud spatters all over you. And please make a dexterity save.
Okay.
Oh,
You are able to shake off this mud that feels like it's going to rapidly harden on you. And it does not encase you, but also this is a flaming sphere. Oh yeah, it's going to end its turn next to the flaming sphere. So it attempts to get away from that. It comes up here and tries to punch it in the face. And
Punch what in the face? Me or
yeah, you.
okay.
It's 15 to hit, so that's not going to do anything. And there's one more Mud Mephit left, and it's going to try to barf up onto the hay bale onto Kaz. And Kaz, you just get like all of this bubbling muddy goo around your ankles and like spewing up your legs. And can you make a deck save, please?
okay. Oh,
And even though you're not in your blade song, your agility, your dance-like agility allows you to make sure that this mud does not harden around your ankles and lock you in place on top of this hay bale. And then it annoyedly tries to punch you in the leg. And pretty sure that's going to hit. It's a 19 to hit.
dang.
So your your shield ended on your turn, so I think that it's good to go on hitting you unless you want to use a reaction this time. All right, so
I say no.
it's punching you in the legs.
Yep.
And you take 8 damage from the crushing blows of this muddy creature that appears to have some rocks in its knuckles, not unlike some brass knuckles that are concealed in the mud. And your shins are upset with you for your bravery. And
8 damage.
yeah, so that takes
Okay.
you to 18. And Drios, you're up.
All right. Um, does I'm gonna holster my pistol, and I'm also gonna draw my rapier. And does my homunculus count as an ally that's flanking right now?
Yeah,
Great. I'm gonna stab this dude.
stab away.
Okay. Hold on just a moment.
Good old reliable rapiers. That is not a hit.
Do I
But
get advantage though?
you get advantage.
Yeah. Better.
That is a hit. So roll damage, please.
1d8 plus 2. Ten points
Nice.
of piercing.
Okay, that one's dead. Go ahead and describe.
So, while it came up on me and tried to punch me, I'm gonna say the Bella took a swipe at its ankle, and that brought it down to one knee, and I just stabbed what looks like a head and took it off its shoulders.
And as it dies, it pops like a water balloon, and just this gooey, gutty mud spatters all over you and your horse and your homunculus, and all 3 have to make dex saves as this
Roll Town, USA.
as this
Alright.
just covers you from head to toe. It's a great way to arrive at the palace.
Yep. First one's for me. It's 10.
Fail.
Second one is, what is his bonus? It's a +3. Second one is for Milano.
Okay. Pass.
Good. Third one is for Bella. Dexterity +4. Ooh.
Was for Bella.
Yeah.
Okay, so those 2, you and she are restrained, and Milano is not. You're covered with mud. You're restrained until the end of your next turn. But the mud mephit is no more. It's the rest of the mud just sort of coalesces into the ground as if it
Okay.
were never anything else but that. And
So restrain, is that just movement speed 0, or can I still attack, or?
you can attack, but you have disadvantage on your attack, and attacks against you have advantage, and you can't move. Thus,
Okay,
and
gotcha. Okay. Since I can't move and Bella can't move, I'm gonna look at Milano, and I'm gonna order him to strike at that top mud man.
bonus action, horse attack
For a
on
force empowered
Buckman.
red.
Roll to hit, please. And that's definitely a hit. Roll damage. That's 1d8 plus 2 force damage.
Dude,
And that looks
man,
like
I'm liking these rolls way better than last week's.
max damage roll
Way
on
better.
Bloodman. Yeah, that Mudman is looking screwed up from this horse's attack. What does the horse attack look like, this force empowered Rand?
Yeah, as he runs up, he rears up on his hind legs, and just like with Bella, you see glowing plates, glowing light shine between the plates. And as he comes down, all that light coalesces into his hooves, and he stomps with his front legs onto the creature, and it blows out chunks with force.
And the hooves thrash around in the mud puddle like a child on a rainy day. But it's not dead yet, and light drizzle falls around you as the battle continues. And Crash, you're up.
All right. First I'm going to do another firebolt at the last remaining scarecrow.
You will have disadvantage on that range attack because there's a mud guy right next to you.
Oh, okay. That'll be a 15.
That hits. Roll damage.
Alrighty. 7 points of fire damage.
Hot diggity doo dah. All right. Describe the demise.
Okay. Crash got out of restrained, right?
Crash got out of restraint.
Cool.
Yeah.
So no mud, I suppose. She kind of, for a moment, I'll use this. Something I totally forgot to describe when doing her character description was that she has a bunch of earrings on her, like long cat ears that are bells. They're little like silver bells. And for a second, they kind of make this very quiet little sound that's a little rhythmic, and her hand on the back of her hand forms some symbols and turns silver, and then burning hot magma. And she kind of flings it at this creature, and I'll say, I'll just hit it in the legs and let it fall over and burn on what's left of the molten magma.
And you hear a as it disappears into the magmatic magma, which
All right.
magnanimously magnifies it.
And next, I am going to. Oh, that was my action, wasn't it? Wow, what a fool I am. That's okay. I guess, do I have the movement on Sphere of Fire to move it over to the mud thing that's next to me?
Yep.
Great. I'll do that and bash it with my bonus action.
Okay. I think you probably want to put this here so it doesn't burn the homunculus on its turn. And you bash it. So
I bash it.
you bashing, girl.
Yeah.
So it's gonna make a dex save. And I rolled a nat 20 for that. So it's gonna take half of 2d6.
All right. Takes 6, so 3.
3 damage on the mud, burning mud. The mud feels called home to the magma and longs to join it. End of turn.
That should be it, yeah.
All right, TikTok. This you right here. What you doing?
I'll move to I think it's northwest, just the square to the northwest of me, right there. And I'm gonna turn around, and I'm gonna do Draconic Cry as my bonus action. I'm gonna say, "Behind you, Crash!" And then I'm gonna do Draconic Cry, which gives advantage to any attacks on enemies within 10 feet until my next turn.
So everyone has advantage on this guy until the end of his next turn.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna try and hit it with my whip.
Whip
Whiplash.
that hoe.
Roll damage. Whip your whip back and forth. Ghost ride your whip. Some other whip pun.
D&D dice.
It's time for this mud creature to do some whippets.
Nice.
Dang.
I don't know what I got. I can't see it.
Got a
It's
For-
26.
Yeah.
26?
it's you got a nat 20 since you're rolling
I
advantage.
didn't.
So double damage dice. I think it's 2. Well, you're a monk, so you know better. It's 2d4 plus 4 on a normal.
Yeah. 2d4 plus 4.
Ooh.
9 damage on this northern mud mephit, and it is barely clinging to life as the whip rips through the mud.
That's my turn.
Yeah, the kobold wielding the whip. All right, Kaz, you're up on this hay bale. You've got the mud creature puking on your feet, and what are you up to?
I'm going to finally activate Blade Song.
Bonus action, go into Blade Song. What does that look like for you?
Well, that looks like after Kaz was hit in the legs, he does his best to regain his posture and kind of like stand up somewhat straight and have like a physical exhale as his rapier kind of glows just a tad. And that's basically what it looks like.
You start dancing. You start moving with grace.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Uh,
Yeah, so he starts getting a little rhythm with his feet and with his rapier, kind of moving his wrist in kind of like a figure eight kind of motion. Always keeping his body in some kind of movement.
He's beauty. He's grace.
yeah,
He's
and
gonna screw your face.
there's an emotional connection in doing this for you as well. So your AC goes up to 17. You have advantage on acrobatics checks. Your movement speed increases to 40 feet per round rather than 30. And you get to add your intelligence bonus to your con saves to maintain concentration on a spell. So bonus action, you go into Blade Song, and then what do you do?
I thrust my rapier into the mud creature. Attempt to.
All right, roll to hit.
Okay.
Hey, roll damage.
Nice. Okay. Wait, that's a D8 for damage?
Yep,
Nice.
D8 plus 4.
Ah.
Okay. Looking at this here, southernmost mud mephit. It takes a good amount of damage from you, and it's looking pretty screwed up as it looks up at you angrily from below. And will that be your turn?
Yep. That'll be my turn.
All right. Mud people time. Mud guys trying to hit you in the feet. Misses. Mud guy tries to hit Crash. Crits.
Ah, I
Deflect
cast
attack.
shield. I know it
Awesome.
doesn't matter. I just want to do it so I get extra health for my thing.
This is a great time for someone to cast Silvery Barbs.
I'm casting deflect attack.
Oh,
Or Milano is with his reaction.
Oh, I see.
what's that?
Uh,
The plot thickens.
So Milano has a reaction, deflect attack. The defender imposes disadvantage on the attack roll of one creature that it can see. So that will make him have to re-roll. Better than Silvery Barbs.
Nice.
because it doesn't use a spell slot. And now it's a miss.
Thank you.
Horse saving the day. Those are the turns of the mud creatures. Well, let me just see if oh yeah, I'll have to roll to recharge. Let's see if they recharge their bonus action stuff.
And in that time, Kaz would look kind of deflated because he was going to cast silvery bars, but then Drios beat him to it. So he kind of looks a little bit deflated in that moment.
You still
Save it for a better time.
Yeah.
Mud creature tries to barf on Crash. Crash roll dexterity.
Okay.
The mud creature puts its sloppy mud mouth on your cat fur and just starts going like
Not one. Okay.
Sometimes describing it can be a little too much.
is that should we put that on the trigger warning?
Nah, I'm
My
not gonna
bad.
put that on there.
So yeah, you see a mud creature just put its lips on the cat fur and barf mud all over.
I'm in hell.
And she's just covered in mud, unable to move for a little while. And those are the mud turns. And Drios, you're up.
All right. Am I breaking out of my outer shell
It's at the end of your turn. You
at
killed
the end of it?
You got restrained, and so you've got you can't move, and you've got disadvantage on attacks currently.
Okay. Well, moving, turning as best as I can. I'm gonna look towards this mudman by Kaz, and I'm gonna shoot him with my pistol once more.
All right, roll with disadvantage, but they got low AC, so we'll see.
Okay. That sucks.
That
At 20 and a 3.
Oh.
snap.
All right, you got your bonus action.
Yeah, Milano's gonna strike that one next to him again.
Roll to hit, please.
What was it again? +5.
If it's the mud method by Crash, then he gets advantage.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, good. Yep, advantage. Oh, and that also means that would cancel out your disadvantage, so you actually get a crit on your gunshot.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, would you look at that?
So roll your crit damage first for your gun.
Yeah, okay. On the +2. What was it? My mind blanked there for a second.
And so you're gonna roll one more time.
Yeah, just a regular D8, not right, not a +2 one.
So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 damage on that mud me fit, and me thinks that it's effing dead. So please describe the firearm related death of this creature made of mud.
Yeah, Drios is just gonna look down at his once very nice clothes that he's been trying to maintain in the wild using mending for several days now. And there's no coming back from this. And I look towards the back a little bit and try and aim my gun, and feeling the inspiring presence of TikTok next to me, correct it a little bit and blast this dude's head off.
And as he dies, he explodes with mud everywhere. And horse makes a deck save. Everyone else is already restrained. This one would be.
I was shooting the one next to Kaz, so down by the bottom.
Oh, okay. Well, that would kill. You don't have advantage on that one. This is.
Oh, I don't.
Done. Yeah.
Ooh.
What's that?
Okay. Yeah, so then I miss him still, because yeah, the whole idea was for me to shoot the one at the bottom, and then the horse takes care of the one at the top.
All right. Well, that was a fun interlude. You miss on the one on the south, and the horse. I believe the horse hit the one in the north.
Yeah,
So
he did hit. I don't think I've rolled damage yet.
roll some horse damage for me.
Roll for horse real quick. Dang, 3.
Oh,
Three damage. That actually kills the one in the north. So
Nice. So
horse,
same blowing up happens.
yeah, horse stomps mud explodes. Crash is already restrained by them. I don't know why I'm taking the horse away. But
No, Milano,
Crash
what
is
have I done?
restrained, so horse needs to make a deck save against the explosive death mud that's filled with mud guts and mud ooze and mud poo. And
Hey.
horse is Milano. El Bello Milano is restrained by the mud. The poo-poo of the dead creature. I'm just gonna put frightened on her for
The
now.
poo-poo did death.
Yes, the death poo-poo is on the horse.
Oh no.
And in the distance, you hear Baznik's horse commiserating with your horse. And all right. All right. TikTok. What you got, homie?
I think it's my turn.
Oh yeah, you're right. Crash, you're up.
Yeah. Okay. Do I have nearly enough movement to get my flaming sphere over there? I don't think I do.
You're not restrained anymore.
Okay.
oh,
Okay, because the one that's restrained. But can I get my flaming sphere over? It only has 30 feet
To the other one?
to the other one, yeah.
I doubt it, but let me
Yeah, okay.
see. 30 feet. Yeah, you can get it here.
Oh, again? Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna bash it.
Bash. It's making a deck save.
All right.
It fails the deck save. 2d6.
All right. Take 7 damage.
Kaz's bail on fire.
Oh, no.
Uh,
I'm
Well,
gonna
that's
get
fine.
all muddy and run
You'll
back.
be okay. I promise.
Oh, no.
Okay. And this one is going down. So give me
Oh,
a
okay.
molten lava ball kill.
Oh, I was gonna do something else. That's
Oh.
fine.
Do that which you were about to do. Do with that which you want.
Sure. I was going. Should I do the other thing? I was gonna cast another spell.
Well, you just killed it with your bonus action, so
All right. It's fine. I'm gonna kill it. Yeah. The thing swerves around. Big mud monster. I think it like goes into its mouth and rapidly it heats up and then kind of like hardens like clay and then crumbles because I dispel it within its body. So there's like a hollow chasm in it and it just kind of collapses.
and so it goes, would say Kurt Vonnegut, whoever
I
that
was gonna cast enlarge on someone and be like, go finish it. But
it that flourish will wait until next time. And
right.
this spinning cloud of daggers sits impotently wishing that someone would telekinetically push a creature into it as the battle ends and the daggers stop spinning and disappear, and we are out of combat.
Woohoo.
I will give a couple minutes of denouement before we move to checkouts. As you stand in the sunset field, the prince thanks you. The mud drips on you and on the ground. The charred remains of the hay of the scarecrows, the smoke curling into the twilight sky. You all stand there.
I immediately lay my rifle and my pistol and my rapier onto a bale of hay and start furiously cleaning it so that the mud doesn't mess them up.
Are we
Uh,
like near the walls of the city, or the?
You're about an hour walk away from the city.
Okay.
You will get there by sundown.
Nice.
I'm giving you all a chance to do anything or say anything that you like in character before we end the session.
TikTok's probably gonna go like, this has been fun, but I think I've almost been killed a few times now. I'm probably gonna call it a day.
TikTok, you saved my life with that call out. I wouldn't have lived. You
You
screamed out for
probably
me.
would have been fine.
No, no, no. You were necessary.
Are you okay, TikTok? Would you like me to try and heal some of those wounds?
I think I'll be okay health wise. I just kind of want to. I think when we get into the city, I'll like walk you guys to the castle, and then I think I'm gonna go back to the shop and just hug everyone in my family and probably stay there for a bit.
Right, I mean, you're free to go back to your family, but like, I don't know, I'm not a very materialistic person, but you absolutely could get something from this. I don't know, you seem pretty capable.
Probably, but I think maybe I'll just wait a little bit. Just see how I feel tomorrow morning.
All right.
Okay.
Let me get an insight roll from anybody who's got proficiency in insight.
Oh shit. Oh damn it. Okay.
Somebody's got to have it, right?
Make my character oblivious.
Who's doing the inside? Just Crash or?
Anyone with proficiency.
Yeah.
Oh, nope.
Nope. I got Arcana.
Nobody took insight?
Nope.
No.
Nah.
Let
I
me
got
get
investigation.
let me get an insight check from my two wizards then.
Okay.
Right.
I have a +0. I'm not very wise.
Intelligence all day, baby.
I rolled a 4.
Wait.
Look, I understand things, not people.
It's interesting because they're called wizards. It's like it has Y's in the name, but they're intelligence based. Okay.
Right.
Kaz rolls a 13.
Mhm.
So as you all stand there surveying the wreckage of this battle, you realize that this country is not supposed to have monsters in it. Humans have been in charge of this country for hundreds of years, and it's very strange that there would be any monsters at all.
I would look at the crew, and at first Kaz would be looking at like Crash in particular and be like, speaking of saving lives, thank you. You've absolutely saved mine with your what flaming spear, I shall call it.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you seemed incredibly capable. You were faring well there, but glad to help at all.
Absolutely. Any
Actually,
and
all of
everything.
you, both of you guys were incredible spellcasters. It's kind of rare to find folks like y'all that are casters in general. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I tried to help there at the end, but I got a little mud in my gun. I'm trying to clean it out right now.
No, these metal animals helped a lot. These are of your creation, I guess.
Ah, yes. Milano is very handy in a fight. He's helped many times before. Bella was much more helpful than I thought. I tried to bring her into a fight once, but then someone kicked her and she died. But she's okay now.
Right.
Someone
Well, I tried to when we're in that town and we're in the bar fight. She jumped onto someone's back and tried to,
Oh,
uh,
the fox, yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah. And then she
Yeah,
just died, and I was like, and I had to go get her core and grab it without getting hit myself.
yeah, she's a little bit more delicate than Milano.
Yeah, just well, they're both delicate, but yeah, they're both handy.
I just would look over at TikTok and like all the while while he's talking and just after the fight, for the remainder of the Blade song, he's just like swinging his sword, listening to the whistles of it. He says, I do I do apologize, TikTok. I meant to protect you from that scarecrow fellow, but you seem not very interested in me.
Are you swinging that thing at me?
No, no, no.
It's kind of threatening. I'm sorry, I couldn't pay attention. What were you saying?
No, I apologize twice over. I just enjoy the whistling of the Blade song. I I just enjoy it. My
Yeah, I
apologies.
love it too. Never stop.
Yes.
It's all right.
Okay, thank you. And he would continue kind of doing that figure eight.
Can I?
And
I'm gonna take a step back, but yeah,
my apologies, sir. I meant to distract the scarecrow and mud monster for you, but I have succeeded. I did not expect the scarecrow to have such high standards.
I think it all worked out.
It all worked out, yes. And does it bother anyone else? Like, I thought this land was not abundant in monsters. I thought it was only civilized intellectual beings here.
Yeah, I kind of point to the prince. Do you know anything about that?
The prince says, it is very strange. I've never seen a creature like this within the bounds of this country. It is a civilized area. There must be some explanation for it, but I feel perhaps you all, with your expertise, might know more than I.
Can I look at the what's left of the piles of mud and the straw man and just try and figure out if it seems as though they were summoned, or like if I can just get any sort of vibe from them, like if they're just naturally occurring and try to ambush us, or someone directed them.
Yeah, roll investigation with advantage.
Investigation, that's a +3.
You got this.
Yeah, my good luck was only for the fight.
Yeah, something's out of place about these things. It doesn't seem right. You feel like you were on the right track with your suspicions, but you're not really able to confirm it. Maybe someone could help you.
Yeah.
Can I walk over and look for any anything that seems kind of magic about any of this? Like if these are like constructs or I don't know.
Roll Arcana,
All right.
please. Oh,
Yeah, 24.
Dang.
the wizard's up in this piece. Yeah, these appear to have been magically created. Someone or something created these, animated these things. Who could it be? Where could they be? How could it be? Find out.
Yeah.
Next episode of Elenia Toth, Friday night edition. All right, let's move to some checkouts, y'all. Raise your hand if you currently have inspiration. Two people. I don't know if I'm feeling generous about giving out a third. I think we'll do an honorary inspiration vote tonight. Let's see. Something you enjoyed about the session in general. I've got to do an NPC with that voice. Something you enjoyed that another player did. Any random feedback and honorary inspiration. Every time I want to do a German accent, I can't do it, but I'm gonna do it when there's no reason to do it. All right, Drios, you're up.
I mean, something that I enjoyed. It's nothing I haven't said before. The role playing was great. Especially with you guys, it was a lot of fun. Most of the session was just talking, having fun, going through that town, letting you guys have a taste of my pain was great. That was awesome. Something that I enjoyed that another player did. TikTok came in kind of clutch at the end there with what was that movie you did, dude, where you get
Draconic Cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a kobold ability where you cry, and anyone who can hear you within 10 feet, any enemy, then you and all your allies get advantage on attacking them until the start of your next turn.
Yeah, that was sick. That's a lot of fun. I don't really have any feedback. That was a lot of. It was a good session.
Do we wake you up in the middle?
Yeah, I woke up, but I'm going back to sleep now. My brain is molasses. Honorary inspiration. TikTok. You got it for me, dog.
Yeah, my brain starts to shut down at the end too. I start making my ADHD sleepy mistakes. Yeah, I start thinking everyone's a kobold. Speaking of kobolds, Daniel. You're up.
Yeah. Something I enjoyed about the session, seeing kind of the remnants of like past battles, like seeing the bear stomping grounds and the kind of corpses there from the teenagers in the ambush, and the whole city kind of being mad at Tabaxis because of the last thing. I've played a lot of D&D, but I think it's actually the first time that I can think of where it's been like, yeah, here's like the little patch of ground where you guys were killed by a bear or something like that has happened. I thought that was really fun and something that I haven't seen a lot. Something I enjoyed that another player did. I really liked Kaz with the kind of just swinging the sword around during conversation.
It's like leading a choir.
Yeah. So I imagine like once you're in Blade Song, you're probably in it for a bit until like it goes, I guess. And I never thought about that until you kind of brought that up. I thought that was a really funny thing. There was a lot of stuff. I always forget like half the things I wanted to mention by the wrap up section. But that was one thing that I do remember that was really cool. Random feedback. I can't really think of any. Inspiration, I think I'll give it to Crash if she doesn't have one. Because I think there's only I don't have inspiration, so there's only one other person who doesn't have it. And yeah, that's everything.
Danke. Zach, you're up.
Well, man, I really enjoyed that. That was a really, really good session. Like, honestly, I loved it. It was like I loved how me and Kaz and Drios just was walking around the town, and Crash and TikTok were just like going through it all, coming through, and somehow came at the same time with that detour. It was just hilarious because during that whole time in my head, I was just thinking about like Kaz and Drios just having a like jolly good time, just peacefully walking, wondering what they're off to, and they're just running. And something also something I liked was I liked how Jake, you like moved his horse for no reason. We're gonna take it away. I thought that was hilarious.
I did what for no reason?
Oh, you were
You got rid of my horse when the dude like
Oh,
blew up or
Killed the
something. I was like,
and then you took the horse and moved it.
that's the tired brain kicking in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And something that I liked that a player did, something really subtle that I actually really liked, was Eve. Like her role playing in the beginning and in the just the whole thing was actually like really good to me because during that time I was actually like taking note of things that Crash was doing, like in the beginning when Crash was talking to Finn. I was having Kaz like take note that she doesn't really s- seem to care much for any kind of like status, like people with status. And also that when she buried the kids, that was something I didn't even think about. And it like added on to her character and added on to how I want Kaz to kind of like interact with her character. Like being a little more standoffish with talking about like nobility things and stuff. So I really like that. And inspiration point I would give to Eve just for that whole role playing thing.
Yeah, I like how she brought up the bells on the ears again at the end too. There's
Oh,
It's like,
uh,
Silver bells.
I like players who role play and write long backstories and think about where their character's been and where they're going and stuff. It's good stuff. But you know, sometimes a character just wants a job.
mhm.
All right. Did you finish, Zach? Did you do all the things?
oh, yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Eve, you're up.
Yay. Something I enjoyed about the session in general. Yeah, the role play was really fun. I feel like everyone was really bringing it with their characters. And I also felt like I feel like with Crash I felt a little like not bad, just like I've struggled to find my footing with some of the role play up to this point, but I feel like I'm more grounded in the character and kind of what her goals are. So it's been nice to do that, to feel better about my character. And I think, yeah, generally very good session. I like Kaz's like dancing and interesting demeanor in combat a lot. I like that you're very like chill and kind of friendly in a active combat. Um, TikTok. I couldn't. Daniel, are you just not going to be able to make next session? Is that why TikTok said to flee?
Well, I don't know when I'm going to be able to come back because
Hmm.
I'm starting a kind of new business venture, I'll
Oh,
call it.
gotcha. Wow.
So I don't know when I'll be able to come back. So that's why I was like, I'll just have him run off back to his family.
But your
For
three
sure.
treasure chests.
I thought it was kind of a great move either way, even if it was like, I was like, oh, that's very in character, even if you were coming next session.
Yeah.
um, so I appreciated that. Yeah, lots of good moments. Something I liked that another player did. I really liked all of Drios's descriptions in combat. I feel like you have a really good sense of what your character looks like and their weapons and their constructs. I think there was a lot of good imagery and movement with your character there. The like heroism scene was very cool, even if there was a bit of an anticlimax to it.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
there was a couple of cool scenes that I tried to do that just
yeah,
didn't work out.
sometimes the mechanics get in the way, but I still liked it.
Yeah.
Um,
No,
I, hmm?
no, sorry. I was just gonna say I realized in the turn after that I still could have done heroism.
Mm.
Bella, my homunculus, was right next to
Oh no.
him, and
That's
she can deliver touch spells, but yeah, he got out of his paralysis like immediately after anyway, so it was all kind of moot. But yeah, it was fun.
Still very cool.
Yeah.
My one random feedback is that like a quarter of the way into the combat, I really sincerely thought we might have to run because all of the monsters could cast like paralysis and what is it? Entangled? What the
restrained.
restrained, God,
Yeah.
which are like the scariest conditions in the game. So I was worried they were just gonna get us all and like do a bunch of crits and we'd just die. So I was kind of thinking about running, but that's okay.
Was that your
Um,
first character death with
Yeah, that was my first character death with Charlotte.
That's probably why you still got that
Yeah, I
trauma.
haven't played that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my honorary inspiration goes to Daniel, goes to TikTok,
Oh, thank you.
Aw.
of course.
Yeah. You know, I find D&D combat pretty boring when it's just I hit this, it hits that. I hit this, it hits that. So you know, status conditions are one way to add a lot of layers to combat, and of course to also leave my brain trying to remember when each one of them wears off. It's a good thing I have my my status rings to mark the players, because otherwise I would be lost. But yeah, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of the mud mephits. They're just barfing rocks on you.
Ah!
Um, and you know, if you play in other games and you play, you know, against mud mephits or scarecrows or whatever, I customize all the creatures. So they be different. Next week, we're gonna have the horseman back. We'll see what he's got to say about it, what he's learned in horse form. And we might have another player from another game. It might be the week after, we'll see. And yeah, it was really fun. You know, I really like the level of role play from this group and the level of descriptions. It makes it a lot more fun for me when it's kind of like I'm watching you all's world play out in front of me. Uh it's great. I love the nuance and the attention to the details of the world, so that you're actually letting the world affect you and your decisions. And I really enjoyed Crash's speaking truth to power, but in a measured way, and TikTok's adherence to his personal goals, which are, you know, everyone else is like, what should we do with this land? And TikTok's like, I gotta make some money. So I love that. I always enjoy Daniel's characters in all the games I play with him in. And Zach, so this is like your second D&D session. You're really getting the hang of it, and all the story stuff is great, and you're figuring out all the battle things with the Blade song and the Blade singer. It's a pretty complicated class, which is why I suggested not multi-classing, is like there's a lot to juggle with just that one. And you're doing great with it. And speaking of complicated, Jonathan, you're doing an excellent job of remembering all the little tricks and traps of being an artificer. There's so many little ins and outs. You've got two different creatures on the battlefield. You've got all sorts of things going on, and you're doing a great job with the mechanics aspect of it, as well as the descriptions. So yeah, and you know I'm having fun with y'all when I run the session for 3.5 hours. What am I, crazy?
Dang.
11:40 to 3:40. If we went 20 more minutes, it'd be 4 hours. So I guess I'm a nut. You can tell I'm entertained because I wanted to finish that battle. So yeah, I'll see you all in a week. Thank you so much for playing, and be well.
No
Good
problem.
session.
Bye,
Thank you
guys.
for
It's
having
been
us.
fun playing
Bye.
with you.
Bye.
Night,
Hey,
everyone.
Daniel.
Bye, Daniel.
Have fun, Daniel. Miss you guys.
He could be back sooner than we know. We never know.
Maybe.
Yeah,
TikTok might
hopefully.
turn up.
Hopefully.
I hope so.
Hopefully, man. I love
Good.
TikTok.